Good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of Akmil Advisor and Globtier Infotech Limited, I welcome you to the virtual meet of Globtier Infotech Limited. Globtier Infotech Limited is a provider of IT solutions specialized in application development and delivering customized software service to meet the diverse needs of clients. As a managed IT and support service provider, the company offers a comprehensive range of IT service for all businesses like SMEs to large enterprise. The company leverages its deep IT industry knowledge and strong technical expertise to deliver solution each client's unique requirement. Now, we welcome our guest, Mr. Rajiv Sukla, Chairman and MD.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm
Mr.
Rajiv, and I'm the CMD of Globtier Infotech Limited. Uh, let me talk about the inception and the journey of Globtier.
Please, sir, एक minute, sir. Mr. Dennis, Senior Vice President.
Hi everyone, good afternoon. This is Dennis. I head business operations at Globtier Infotech.
Mr. Sandeep Gupta, CFO.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. It's pleasure to have you. My name is Sandeep Gupta. I'm the CFO of Globtier Infotech Limited.
Mr. Niloy, Director. And
Hi, good
from
afternoon, everyone. I'm the director
the
for
Machamangan,
Cyber Cloud and AI.
and from Machamangan side, we have Miss Sivani Mehra. Now, I'd like to invite Mr. Dennis to give a brief PPT. Over to you, sir.
So, Mr. Rajiv, would you like to start?
Okay. So, hi everyone. Good afternoon. Hope you are doing well. Uh, so, let me introduce Globtier. Globtier is a uh, 13-year plus old IT service provider, and uh, we provide multiple services like application support, infra, cyber security, cloud, and AI. So there are two parts. Like in the Globtier's journey is quite interesting, and I can divide this in two parts. One, we started with a pure service company, and like almost provided these services to Fortune 100 customers, many Fortune 100 for 500 customers. And during the last 3 years, we have started transitioning Globtier to Globtier uh, 2.0, wherein we have been adopting the new services like cloud, AI, cyber security, and niche technologies like no code, low code, which is a growing trend in technology. So we have these services, and we have all kind of ISO certifications, and serving very large Fortune 500 customers. Next. So, our mission from the beginning is like to be a very strong and trusted partner, and to deliver suitable, reliable, customized solution to the customers. Our mission is again like to provide uh, IT solutions, create value, add value to the customers, reduce cost, and provide them the best technology to move forward. Next. So here is the like team who are part of the management team. Myself, Mrs. Rekha Shukla, Rahul Shukla, Shardul Singhal, Manoj, and Rajesh. Like these all these independent directors and non executive directors, they carry a lot of industry experience, not necessarily in IT, as Rahul is from the legal background, but Shardul, Manoj, they are from IT background, and they work for very large multinationals, and they are adding a lot of value to Globtier's board. Mr. Rajesh Srivastava, he's ex CFO of a very large organization. Next. Uh,
Hi
and over
everyone.
Dennis will take you over.
Hi everyone. Thank you so much, Rajiv ji. So, as Rajiv ji mentioned, we are a managed IT service company, and we are serving in this space for almost 13 years, and we are associated with some of the top leading large IT corporate companies in India. Along with that, we also serve various enterprise customers. So these are certain service pillars for the organization where we are extensively working and building our capability and offering our services to our customers. Starting with IT FMS, which is more of a IT facility management services, where we take care of various activities within this particular domain, starting from the end user support to the DCDR run operation management. Coming to the application support side, here we take care of end-to-end large enterprise application management and support services, whether it is SAP, whether it is Oracle, Microsoft Dynamics, and any other large custom applications. We provide end-to-end support, modernization, and migration to those service domains. From the application development perspective, we have capability around building applications and scalable and open source platform based applications, which are now trending these days, using AI and a lot of other aggressive tools there. Staff augmentation has always been there, but it is a vertical which helps us in terms of scaling our project capabilities and deliveries, and also helps certain organizations in terms of fulfilling their on demand needs. uh, the lower side of the vertical, which talks about digital transformation, cloud services, solutions, and infosec services, is relatively a newer strength of the organization. But we are extensively working on this particular domain, starting from digital transformation, where we are doing extensive work in terms of application modernization, cloud migration from on-prem to cloud hyperscaler environments, and various activities within the modernization space, or enhancement and upskilling of the application. On the cloud services side, we do various activities within the management of the existing landscape of the customer cloud, modernizing that, reducing cost, giving assessment on the cloud side of it, cloud security posture management, and certain other services that we cover in the cloud side of it. And infosec security services is more of a security services, which is the need of the hour, where you all have seen a lot of threats are revolving around these days with various applications. Various customers have been impacted. Across the domains, where various organizations have got impacted for this. So we are trying to build this particular practice in terms of so that all the organizations remain secure upfront in terms of managing their application landscape, because we as an organization have built strong capability, not only on the application side, but on the functional side, how businesses work specifically to certain domains, certain industries where we have extensively worked. There we have built strong functional knowledge, which is the USP for the organization as well, because a lot of other organizations focus on technology. Though we have been strong in the technology side, but we have built strong capability on the functional side, that how business works, how business functionality works. And with that knowledge, we have been able to translate the requirement well, the understanding of the customer, understanding the journey of their requirements, and translating into the technological need. We've been able to design, develop, modernize, and transform their application landscape for our customers. Next. These are certain services, focus services for us, which leads our growth vertical. I would like Niloy to take on these slides.
Yeah, thank you, Dennis. Taking from the context of what Rajiv ji introduced, especially on Globtier in his journey in 2.0, right? So the fact that we have been a traditional service integrator, we have been working with tier one service integrators of the world, and we have been providing the backend services for them, and we have host of services which we have been traditionally be doing as a backend for the traditional IT services provider. Now, the new Globe tier wants to focus on the core of what is our DNA is, and then we want to structure all the necessary services which goes around it. Now, the reason that we have done something like this is primarily from the fact that we want to go ahead, we want to run with the bandwagon of the new services that are coming in, which is specifically around AI and data. Now, once we are into AI and data, we understand that there will be a cloud story. Now, if there is a cloud story, obviously there will be a cybersecurity that will get involved. And apart from these three, which will be a circumventing services that we are going to provide, we will continue our base services, which is our application development managed services, ADMS, which is our core services that forms the backbone of the company. That's the core of our services. And the other services that we do, especially around ERP consulting, including SAP consulting services that we do. So, in a nutshell, the five focus services that we are looking at is ADMS, cloud services, SAP consulting, cybersecurity, AI, and data analytics. Yeah.
Yeah, Sandeep.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. So, on the revenue part, we had basically we have much stronger in the domestic market. We have a strong presence in our domestic market, comprising 98. The majority of the revenue comes from our domestic market, as it is. Shown it's 98% in FY25. We had the 98% of our revenue share coming from the domestic market, and gradually we'll be moving for the higher share of the exports. Next, please.
So, hi, as you look at the industry trends and what is Globtier's relevance. So, in the previous slides, we talked about the focus services, and the industry from the IT perspective is moving towards a cloud adoption. I mean, it is aggressively being adopted by whether it is small organization, medium enterprises, or large enterprises. Everybody is moving towards cloud adoptions. And if you see the market trending ahead from the global cloud market share perspective, it is going to grow from 21.50% as an AGR. It is going to be like a 60 lakh crores market by the end of 2025. And again, if we talk about the artificial intelligence, you'll see a significant growth there in this particular domain, up to 25 lakh crores. The market is significantly growing. Every day new things are coming up, and we all are keeping our eyes open and thinking that how we adopt artificial intelligence so that our end customers can benefit out of that particular segment. And that is also plans to grow from approximately 19.10%. Same goes with cybersecurity as well. If you look at the cybersecurity, though this is a little negative thing, but it is part of our journey. It is part of our day-to-day life that we protect our customers' environment so that they can protect and they can serve their customers well. So, but the threats are evolving. Threats are growing in that particular domain. I mean, the market is growing exponentially. A lot of new tools are coming up. Looking at the next forefront, that is SAP and other legacy applications. So one of the largest application which is being used widely globally is SAP and their ECC6 instance, which is going to get obsolete in the year 2027, where a lot of new modernization is going to be expected. Has introduced a lot of new tools and new platforms where they want their existing customers, largely the SAP customer base. Currently also, out of the large base of 60% customers are still using their ECC6 instance, and they will be moving to HANA or RISE with HANA kind of a thing. And we have built strong capability around this particular domain where we do assessment of the existing application, move them into the modern application framework, modernize their data, modernize that application, customize those applications. So these are certain relevant points that we have identified, and we are going to go ahead with the capability and the market trend so that Globtier remain relevant in the entire IT domain. Next. So, I mean, this is something very interesting that everybody would like to see. Niloy would like to add something, so that I'll add something here from a generic standpoint, AI and IT.
Yeah. So let me do it this way. I would just give the context on the AI and the explosion that AI has brought in, and then we can actually go through the numbers that is pointed over here. Now, I'm very sure everyone who is
Niloy's audio.
I think there was
We can hear you,
a short
Niloy.
disruption. Okay,
Yeah.
okay, fine.
Now we can
Thanks.
now. Yeah.
Okay, thanks. Okay, now we know that the AI domain today is in such a state that every single day the AI is advancing itself in every field, whether it is in generative field or in agentic field, and the application which uses AI has been growing manyfold, right? So from overall perspective, AI has now become.
We can hear you, Niloy.
Okay. From a industry standpoint, AI has now become a de facto standard, which is going to actually revolutionize everything that we do. Now, in traditionally, the way that we used to operate, especially when it comes to creating a model, now just by adding AI into the back end of the application, we are able to actually do much more in at a much lesser time, right? So that is the crux of what AI is coming from, and it is being used in every, whether it is an application development space, whether it is cybersecurity, whether it is automation. So in every single space, or targeting specific requirements, such as some of the lower end services that we already have been providing for quite some time. For example, things like service desk agents or end user support, those things which are actually rudimentary in nature, is something which is completely going to be replaced by AI and automation and Autobots and all those things. So that is what we have been trying to focus on in Globtier. And what we are going to do is we are going to quickly cover the part where we ourselves have invested into a platform called Botgo, which actually helps us to transition our traditional IT services to the new generation IT services. Dennis, you want to take through the rest of the slide from the numbers
Yeah, yeah.
perspective?
So from the numbers perspective, it is evident that India is aggressively working around the AI domain. Our government is also focusing a lot of actions around using the ecosystem around the AI landscape. And if you look at the numbers that are being here presented, I mean, the industry is going to grow from 29 lakh crore by the end of 2026, which is going to be a very significant number, and which is also going to be a 10% of our nation's GDP, which is significant in itself. From the financial year 2024, India's IT export revenue has already grown, and so that is where we also become relevant in terms of how we are also going to grow our revenue exports from the export using the AI based platform, which I just mentioned. She'll cover in next slides. I mean, overall, the India's IT industry is growing, I mean, exponentially from the year 23. The total workforce has also grown to 5.4 million. Meanwhile, this sector attracts cumulative FDI inflows also. I mean, so you see a significant number there also, where the India FDI in India is the largest sector considered in the FDI domain. I think this makes the organization, the services, and the focus of the world for the AI. Next slide, please. Yeah. So here, India's software product industry has always been relevant, but there were no large products being developed and came out from India, I mean, in the previous years. But now we see a lot of innovative products have been launched in India and being used by various global organizations as well. So because India's IT spending has increased a lot. So if you see the numbers here, these are significantly, I mean, set to grow from the year 2024 to the future years. The Indian software product industry is projected to reach around 83.50 lakh crore by 2025. India's data annotation market valued at 2.8 thousand crore in financial year 20, with 60% from the US business is projected to grow 58.45 thousand crore by 2030, fueling the rising domestic AI demand. So this is basically the Indian domestic users are going to use this kind of services within the India, and the consumption of these services will be more from India as compared to the previous year, where the consumption and the services were rendered to US customers. And India's IT industry is projected to reach 29.25 lakh crores by 2025, contributing 10% to the nation's GDP. This we earlier also discussed, which is a significant milestone for the Indian software product industry. And to be relevant in this space, we 3 years back we started transforming ourselves into a product space as well from a service organization. So we created a product called BotGo, which is a process automation tool focusing on the AI domain. Works extensively well for the organization, whether they want to automate their help desk side, whether they want to automate their HR processes or any other processes, whether it is operational process, manufacturing process. The process automation can be achieved with various other integrations of the large application with this particular platform. And the idea behind this particular solution was thought through with our experience only, where we felt the need during the COVID time that there'll be a extensive need for the remote automation, all these kind of journeys which would be needed in future, and that is what has become a future ready solution now.
Yeah,
Next slide.
so I would just add on to that what Dennis said. The fact is, this platform is so unique, a complete low code, no code platform. And at the same time, it does not just focus on business process automation, but it talks about process automation as a whole, which means whether it's a business or a technology, it can integrate and it can build the bridge of that automation as per the requirement of the organization. And the core reason that we have created this synergy is because we want to transform our existing services to these automated services, which will make us more effective, more efficient, and more profitable.
Next, please.
Yeah, I'll take a couple of slides from here. So, as is evident, the key financial highlights is that Globtier had in 25 had a significant strong performance. Our EBITDA and PAT has significantly increased, not in terms of absolute numbers as well as in terms of the margins, despite the muted growth in the revenues. And this is largely driven by the couple of factors. A, the conclusion and the non-renewal of the low volume projects. B, focus on the long-term engagements over the volume-based projects. And C, the engagements, engaging the clients directly, with engaging with the end customer directly. And this yielded the results, positive results, and this is pretty much evident in our margins. The EBITDA margins improved by 390 bips on a year-on-year basis, and our PAT improved by 160 bips on a year-on-year basis. Next slide, please. I think yeah, we can move to the another slides. Next slide, please. On the balance sheet side, I will touch upon the couple of indicators, key indicators. One is our debt equity ratio stands at 0.6, signifying the healthier balance between the debt and equity. And our current ratio stands at 1.37x, and which is again within the accepted or the industry norms. And our net working capital cycle is stands at less than 3 months, less than 3 months period. Next slide, please. Okay. So on the back of the very strong performance, financial performance FY25, uh, the net cash flow from the operating activities, there is a huge, significant increase in the cash flow from the operating activities. And our investing activities comprise, say, the minus 4 crores, comprising principally the capex, and the financing activities of 2.2 crores basically comprises the interest servicing cost. And again, for last 2 years, we have the net cash flows are on the surplus side, on the positive side. Next slide, please. This we have already covered in the earlier pages. And the next slide, please.
Yeah. So from here onwards, I mean, whatever you've heard about the capabilities that Globtier has built over a period of time, we would like to bank upon them and build a future roadmap and a future strategy for the organization where we grow from here onwards, and we create a value proposition for our customers and for the Globtier itself. So the plan revolves around the geographical expansion, where we see moving to other markets as well, taking our capabilities, whether we build our development offshore development center using the existing development center here in India, or catering to the international customers through this particular development center, or maybe setting up nearshore development center for our various customers. That's the idea for geographical expansion. Industry diversification is something very important for us, because we have worked with certain industries and we would like to extend that capability to other industries as well, so that because industries are growing, I mean, the new creation of industries is there, and we would like to cater to those all those industries with a cost effective manner. Service enhancement has always been our focus, and we have always been positive about enhancing our existing service capability, and that's how we've reached to this stage, and we would continue to do so in terms of service enhancement as well. Marketing and brand building is something that we would like to now consciously invest in, so that brand presence and the marketing efforts are significantly there, so that our presence is felt to even medium-sized organizations. Because currently, where we are working with large organizations, or whether it is corporate system integrators, top of the line of the world, or whether a large enterprise organization, we would like to cater to the some of the growing organization, so that they can also be offered our strong and capable services there from the marketing and branding perspective. And Globtier creates its way into the deep ocean there. Next slide, please. So from a competitive strength perspective, we see that our USP is long-term association and relationships with our existing clients. We have always focused on certain specific domain within the IT plethora of services. We have focused always on providing support services. We never went into implementation side of it. We always felt that managing existing application for our customers is more interesting, more critical, giving them modernization flavor, giving them innovative advancement there. And that's how the translation of long-term association is there. There are certain use cases where multiple prime vendors have changed, but Globtier is consistent there and serving the end customer there. Um, uh, Customized client solution is something that, whether it is services, whether it is automation, whether it is development of certain services, we have always been agile. We have always been adaptive in terms of what customer is needing, in comparison to large organization which focuses on the uh, specific services. We focus on specific requirements, whether it is functional side of it, whether we have to invest from our side to understand customers existing business operations, business function, how they operate, and then we design the entire solution for them. From the understanding of technology, yes, that's a strong area that we have covered, and the journey is very interesting for Globtier in this particular domain. We started from an application rollout, handholding, and sustenance kind of activity, and to this date, we are where we are talking about cybersecurity, AI, which is the trending and buzzwords in the industry. So that clearly outlines that our understanding of technology has always been there, and we have extensively worked on enhancing our capability and delivering to the core around that. Next slide, please. So, from a SWOT analysis perspective, the left side is more important for us so that we can cover the right side of it, which the left side talks about the strengths and the opportunities that we are looking at. And from a overall perspective, what we would like to say is we are talking about diverse service portfolio. We are talking about skilled workforce, which has always helped us in terms of managing these large enterprise projects. Client-centric approach has always been there. So, and experienced promoter group. So that has always been the core strength of the organization, and that's how we are growing the ladder here steadily and consistently. Opportunities are something very important for any organization and for Globtier also, where we are expanding into the emerging markets, not only into the US and UAE market, but other African markets, which is growing exponentially. High margin business selection is something that we are going to focus in the next, few years, because whatever we have done here till now was to provide stable, sustainable services to our customers, so that they also get benefit out of it from the cost optimization perspective. Again, we are aligned here on the cloud side. We are talking about growing need for the cloud adoption, and we are there. Advancement in AI and automation, and we are there. Digital transformation initiatives, as Niloy mentioned, that whenever you talk about AI, the cloud will be there, the data will be there, and the entire digital transformation revolves around this. So the opportunities are significant for us and for the industry as well. From the weakness standpoint, yes, I would like to touch upon these points as well, where cash flow management, technological obsolescence, low margin services, retention has always been a question for the industry. It's not about the weakness for the Globtier, but these are certain challenges because the industry is facing these kind of things. But how we are addressing these weaknesses is more important for us. How we are taking care of our talent retention, how we are retaining our people, upskilling them so that they move up the ladder, and we hire fresh people and train them to make more relevant into the business and remain cost effective at the same time. Threats are something intense competition. Yes, there is an intense competition, economic uncertainties because of certain conditions which everybody is aware of. Regulatory changes are constantly happening to control secure environment and the service framework. Longer payment cycle is certainly there from the threats perspective, and financial limitation is something that this particular growth journey that now we have started on would definitely take care of. So I think this covers the entire SWOT analysis, where we would definitely be focusing on our weakness and threats in terms of converting them as our strength as well. Next slide, please.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Shannon Advisors Private Limited is the lead manager to the offer of Globtier Infotech Limited. The offer is opening on August 25, that is coming Monday. and the offer would be closing on August 28th. The company is planning to raise 31.04 crores, which is the offer size. The offer price would be 72 rupees per share, and the lot size would be 1600 equity shares. The listing is proposed on the SME platform of BSE Limited. The total offer would be for 43 lakhs 12,000 equity shares, out of which the fresh issue will be for 38 lakhs 11,200 equity shares, and the offer for sale by one of the promoters would be 5 lakh 1,800 equity shares. Can we have the next slide, please? The shareholding pattern pre-IPO, that is pre-offer holding of the promoter and promoter group, is 99.87%, and the public holds 0.13% of the pre-offer holding. After the initial public offer is concluded, the promoter and promoter group would be holding 71.38%, and the public would be holding 28.62%. Can we have the next slide? So if we talk about the offer structure, the individual investors are offered 20 lakh 48,000 equity shares. Other than individual investors are offered 20 lakh 40,000 equity shares, and the market maker is allocated 2 lakh 24,000 equity shares. The pre-offer equity shares of Globtier is 1 crore 13 lakh 10,000 equity shares, and the post-offer equity shares would be 1 crore 51 lakh 21,200 equity shares. The post-offer implied market cap is 108.87 crores. Next slide, please. So the objects of the offer include, if I talk about the gross proceeds from the offer, it is 2744.06 lakhs. After the issue expenses, the net proceeds that goes to the company is 2389.06 lakhs. The utilization is as follows. Market working capital would be 1150, that is 11.50 crores. The repayment or prepayment of debt in full and in part is 8.30 crores, and the general corporate purpose is 409.06 crores. Sorry, 409.06 lakhs. Next slide, please.
Thank you everyone for
Thank you,
the.
everyone. So this was
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Tim, for the great presentation. Now we will start with the question answer session. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
So first is, how do you differentiate your service in cybersecurity where there are many global players?
So I would take up this question. Now, from a cybersecurity point of view, typically what happens is there are traditional way of operating on a cybersecurity environment. There are traditional controls. There are different kind of customers. They are in different levels of their maturity journey, and based on their maturity journey, they have selected some certain controls to meet their requirement. Now, what has happened is most of this requirement that people have involved themselves into is more from a tick in the box, either from a regulatory standpoint or either to get the bare minimum requirement in terms of cybersecurity. But the paradigm has changed. Now, with AI coming in, with more services being adopted in the cloud, the entire paradigm of cybersecurity has changed. Now, when you look into the ROI of cybersecurity, it is not just about putting up a control. It is also trying to utilize whatever the controls which is already available in the cybersecurity space in the cloud, or the new set of cybersecurity that is going to come in with AI coming in, which is called AI security. That itself is a huge gamut. Now, the advantage that Globtier has is that we have already recognized that there was a shift that's going to happen. And that's where we started adopting these technologies. And when we started adopting these technologies, when we invested in on cloud, when we invested on building up a product on cloud and a product which is AI enabled, not using open source AI that is available, but our own RAG model, right? So we trained them, we led all the AI securities that is required. And so we have a hands-on understanding and experience of the kind of security trends that is going to come in the future. And that is what our expertise is going to be. And that is where we will be leading the industry from the other players who have been primarily working on the traditional IT security of providing natural IT controls, compliance measures, SOC services, and all those things, right? So that is how we differentiate our services from.
Next, good afternoon, sir. Which service vertical will drive the highest growth in next 3 to 5 years?
Dennis, would you like to take the question?
Yeah. So definitely the focus service vertical, where application leads the revenue vertical for us, combining it with cloud, AI, and cybersecurity is going to be our growth factors for the organization.
Next, so according to you, which service like cloud, AI, cybersecurity will be the biggest growth driver in the next 3 to 5 years?
So between cloud, AI, cyber security, if you really look, what would happen is typically you won't be able to differentiate which vertical would typically lead this. That's the reason why we have concluded all of these three technologies in something called digital transformation and intelligent platforms. So the offering that we have created called DTIP, which considers all the three technologies, cloud, AI, and cybersecurity, which will be hands-on together. So let me explain. For example, if you have to create a AI instance for your application, you are not going to use an open source AI, right? So what you are going to do is you are going to use a captive AI. Now, where will that captive AI come from? Because it's going to be a very huge, humongous resource eater, right? From an AI standpoint. So you are going to go to the cloud and you are going to put your instance on the cloud and you are going to use the cloud AI capability and augment it with your application. So both the cloud and AI story goes together. Now, once you put the cloud and AI story together and people are accessing that platform, you will have to encompass the cyber security controls around it, right? So that is the reason why we have formed offering called DTIP, which is digital transformation of intelligent platforms, and that will cover all of the three. So all of them we find significantly will form the biggest growth factor of our next 3 to 5 years journey.
I'll add here, which Dennis already mentioned briefly, the application side, like the legacy applications, which are widely used worldwide in the domestic market, also other markets also. So the transformation from legacy to the cloud, that transformation, the lift and shift phenomena, will play a very very significant role. Besides this cloud, AI, and cybersecurity play.
Next, what is your expansion strategy outside India?
So basically, we have already outlined a plan. We have already created an entity in US, and the target market definitely would not be only US, UAE, some part of African market as well. So the strategy moving towards that direction is taking our capabilities, addressing those market needs, aligning our solutions or services to that particular market fit, and then gets into that particular market. So that
Yeah.
our strategy remains on top of our actions when we move to different markets. Anything, Rajiv, you would like to add?
Yeah, specifically for the UAE market, we are already in talks, though it's very early. We are in talks with a very, very young AI company. This is run by very, very enthusiastic young people, and we are in talks with them just to get uh, a smooth entry in that particular region. We are trying to to have some shareholding from them. So we'll try to invest there in that company.
Next,
Next question, please.
what is your USP point?
So we
Can't
can't see the question.
consider. What is your USP point and what is your PE ratio compared to your listed peers?
Sandeep can. Sandeep, do you have the peer?
Yeah, yeah.
Thing?
So on the P ratio, our P ratio is 14.81, as compared to 7.37 of 7.37 of Dev IT and 32.03 of Citrix, are listed peers. And
And
these numbers have been basically computed on the last, yesterday's close of the business hours uh, data points.
Next. Hello, sir. My question is, how do you plan to improve EBITDA and PAT margin further?
so that's an interesting question. I mean, though it drills down to finance side of it, but from a business operations standpoint, I would like to take some part of it, because we are moving towards modernization of the Globtier in itself. When Rajivji started the presentation, it was like more of a transformation for Globtier 2.0. There we are focused and to adopt new technologies, offer new services, focus on the growth verticals itself. The journey till here, till this point of time, was to be relevant, to offer sustainable services, to offer cost optimized benefit to our customers, and invest in our knowledge, people, technology, and capabilities around. And from here on, the time is that we leverage on that. We heavily invested on the platform, as Niloy and I mentioned earlier, that we built extensively onto that platform. We not only built it from a technology standpoint, we did extensive research on various industries, how the functional requirements evolve from organization to organization, whether they work in similar industry. Every organization have a unique need, how our product is going to fit into those demands. So that is definitely going to help us in terms of moving a shift from the traditional service offerings, moving to cater to larger organization, medium organization, where they need modernization, they need AI adoption, they need secured environment to work with their customers. And with this part of service offerings, definitely we see a significant growth with the addition of revenue, with the addition of high margin services, high opportunity based catering to these customers, would definitely help us significantly in improving both the sides of it. Rest I leave it with Sandeep ji. How do you want to address this?
I think Dennis, you have covered pretty much. And then in the previously when we were talking about the financial performance, like in FY25, we have taken the steps the conclusion and the non-renewal of the low margin projects to the high margin projects. And then it's a shift from the long-term engagements and over the our volume-based projects. And this is already yielded the results, positive results in FY24 and 25. And we are expecting that positive momentum will continue.
Thanks, Sandeep ji. Next question, please.
Next, what are the other peer cybersecurity entities which are in lines to your service, and how is the company trying to utilize the fundraising in combining the core areas of expertise of peer entities?
So the way to look at this is, now when we look at peer cybersecurity entities, I guess the market is pretty dominant. There are multiple players when it comes to cybersecurity. There are cybersecurity only players which primarily dominate, and they are more into focused areas of augmenting service requirements, especially cybersecurity service requirements that is required by organizations. Now, Globtier do not actually play in that particular domain, right? Globtier, in the process of servicing the customers in traditional IT space as well as application management services space, we augment cybersecurity services on top of it, which means that if I am supporting an application layer, I am also supporting the cybersecurity requirement of the application layer. If I am supporting the infrastructure layer, whether it's endpoint security, whether it is a network infrastructure, or whether it is a server infrastructure, right? I am also augmenting the security layer for that. Because now we are pivoting onto the cloud space, we are very clearly focusing on cloud security posture management. We are talking about the native cloud security space. So that is how we are doing it. So the security part of the way that we are doing it is not similar to a lot of security providing companies who are typically operating in that space. We are very clearly focused on the application and the infrastructure that we are supporting, and the necessary security controls to back those infrastructure part of it. Now, can we not individually go ahead and target any customer to provide any security service? The answer is yes, because we already have those capacity and capability built within our organization. When we are supporting our existing infrastructure and existing customers and existing customer requirements for their modernization journey, when we are encompassing the security around it, we can also target those security controls. So that is where I would not really focus on answering that how we are in terms of scaling up to our peers, because I think we are in a different paradigm altogether. It is driven by the kind of services space that we exist into, and we are not only a security company. Security is part of our DNA and a part of our domain. Now, the later part of the question, in competing on the core areas expertise of the peer entities. Now, what we plan to do is whatever the fundraising that we are doing, we are going to invest into our overall journey of modernizing IT and IT services. Now, in that process, we will invest on AI, we will invest on cloud, and we will invest on cybersecurity, which encompasses cloud and AI. Right. So that is how we are going to do. So it will always be a use case based approach for us, and that is how we are planning to grow our services landscape.
Thanks, Niloy.
Next, what are your current receivable and payable days, and how do you see this evolving post IPO?
Yeah, so I'll take it this. So we'll talk about the receivables first. So the current receivables days are actually first of all the trade receivables. I'll take it. I'll see this our the majority of the revenue comes from the domestic market, which is highly competitive. And to stay competitive in this intense market, competitive intense market, we extend trade period of between 80 to 100 days or 110 days. Additionally, we work on the projects where the payments are linked with the milestone completion and client's approval, and that actually leads to the enhanced collection days. So currently, our receivables, as of now, they are around 100 days, 107 days in the current receivable days. Post IPO, the going forward plan is that we will be strengthening our collection process, which will shorten the our trade period, and this is something will be gradually be brought down from the current level to the say 190 days. Again, uh, we will say, and the payable days, as coming to the payable days, these are in line with the receivables. So payable and receivables go hand in hand. Next,
Next, how much of your revenue comes from Fortune 500 clients versus SMEs, and how do you plan to expand both segments?
I think for now, like about 80 on 80, this data is not readily available, but on the general note, almost 70-80% of the revenue is from Fortune 500 clients.
Okay.
And
Next.
the other segment which is the later part of the question, SMEs, like that is through the brand building and marketing and expanding our service offering to the other market segment. Right, currently we are catering to very large customers, so we'll be offering our services to SMEs now.
Next. Hello, sir. My question is, with employee cost at nearly half of revenue, how do you balance employee retention?
Yeah, so this is an interesting question. Uh,
Very good question.
As you all know, that IT industry is manpower centric industries. I'm in manpower centric industry, and a lot of manpower is required to drive business, to deliver business, to offer the services that we are into that particular space. Consulting is another domain area where we are working on. Uh, the idea here is that how do we retain our employees? So we have always focused on upskilling our people. We have always encouraged our people to uh, uh, get themselves trained. We have incentivized them for various trainings, various upskilling efforts that we do, and we always focus on training fresh people, training new college grads coming out from there, so they are more agile, they are more aggressive, they are more future centric, where they want to take a lot of knowledge advantage that they get from their colleges and all those things. So we've always invested in our fresh talent. In fact, from a retention perspective, I can tell you that around 15 to 20% is the count where the people within the organization Globtier, they are 5+ years they've spent with us. There are certain people who are with us from the day of inception of Globtier. So that itself translates that how we are retaining our employees. The cost is definitely an aggressive part of the entire service delivery, and we always try to keep it in control so that we manage our people, retaining them, giving them opportunity to grow so that we can move them from one project to another project where the need arises and the requirement changes, and that is how we are balancing it out.
Yeah. So I would just want to add one more additional point to this. Now, while we pivot into the 2.0 of the organization, one of the key aspects that we are going to look into is, and Dennis also touched on to that particular point, especially when he spoke about that we actually spend a lot of, or we taken a lot of initiative to upskill our people. Now, because we are going into a digital transformation journey, what we are going to do is, unlike many of the IT organizations where with the advent of AI and automation, people are actually going ahead and reducing the number of people, we are using the people and we are actually trying to do more with our existing people, which means the growth journey that we are going to take forward, instead of equally increasing the number of people, we would use technology to cater uh, to that additional volume, which means that my per employee, I would actually be able to cover a larger chunk of revenue. That is the digital transformation that we are embarking into.
Thanks, Niloy. Next question, please.
Next. Very well drafted and presented a PPT. All the best, team.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so much,
Thank
Chitali.
you.
Grateful to the management for sharing their insight and to Akmil for their efforts. Best wishes for the successful IPO. Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Vedant.
Thanks for the Globtier team and Akmil Advisor for organizing this roadshow. All the best for your IPO.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Rupesh ji.
Thank you.
Thanks, Prateek.
All the best for the upcoming IPO.
Thank you.
So
Thanks,
thank you,
Vedant.
team. Thank you, Globtier team, and thank you, Sanon team, for joining the meeting. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
everyone.
Thank
Thank
you,
you for
everyone.
Thank you,
making this
everyone.
Thank
meeting.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.